Game 1 of the NBA Finals is now in the books, and the Phoenix Suns took Game 1. The Suns' big three took over and was able to put pressure on the Bucks' defense. With two of the best mid-range scorers of the game, the Bucks had to find a way to slow them down. The Bucks on ball screens tried to switch everything 1 through 5, then went into drop coverage for a bit, then experimented with Giannis at the 5. Let's get into some of the film here. The Bucks started off the game getting a Middleton Giannis pick and roll. Deandre starts the game guarding Giannis. Deandre drops on the screen. Bridges trails Middleton. Giannis rolls. Middleton sinks Deandre onto him, which opens up Giannis for the lob, and he gets a foul on the play. The Bucks switched every ball screen 1 through 5, something that they carried over from the Hawks series. Here, Devin Booker gets a handoff. The Deandre screen switches Brook onto Booker. Booker sizes up Lopez for this three. Good contest by Lopez here. And another handoff for Booker creates a switch. Middleton and Brook takes away the initial drive right from Booker. Booker misses a cut in Deandre. Giannis comes over to tag Deandre. But look how crafty Booker is. Attacks Middleton going left, puts him in jail, snakes around Lopez, and gets to his spot for the jumper. On this sideline out of bounds play, Deandre screens for Bridges, and Bridges gets the ball in the low post. Miscommunication here, Brook tags Bridges on the inbound. Middleton fights to stay with Bridges but ends up embracing Brook. Brook is out of defensive position, which opens up Deandre for the dunk. I like the defense here by Milwaukee. Bridges comes off a screen, gets the ball, then goes into a handoff with Chris Paul. This flows into a Paul Deandre pick and roll. Deandre switches the screen, but Portis does a good job coming over and committing to the switch containing Paul. PJ Tucker stunts the Deandre roll, which opens up Bridges, but Tucker does a good job closing out on this shot. Deandre gets the ball, waits for Booker to come up at the top of the key, goes into a handoff, then screens Booker's man. This creates the switch on Lopez. The Bucks should have off-ball switched this and have Portis contain Deandre and Jrue guard Crowder. This doesn't happen. Portis covers Jay. Deandre already has that step ahead of Jrue, and he gets this lob to go. Jay Crowder and DeAndre Ayton were the main guys guarding Giannis. Giannis started to get one-on-ones against them, and with no help defense, Giannis attacked them. Devin Booker comes off this zipper screen and gets a handoff from Deandre. Bryn Forbes switches onto Booker. Deandre immediately rolls, so Portis tells Teague to switch onto Campaign, and Portis will cover Deandre. Pretty good defense by Forbes, and I honestly have no idea where the foul is. The Suns got 26 free throw attempts this game to the Bucks 16. The Suns ended the first quarter picking out Jeff Teague to switch on to Devin Booker. Booker isolates, gets to the middle of the floor, draws help defense by Middleton, quick kick to Payne for 3. He misses, but there's no box out on Torrey Craig, and he puts the ball back in. What the Bucks want to avoid is the Suns getting into the lane, Chris Paul, Devin Booker basically get into their spots and wreaking havoc, basically putting you in jail or snaking a screen and get into their spots. The switch defense puts a body in front of you, so these guys can't get into the lane and just create havoc there. Chris Paul and Devin Booker took turns picking on Brook Lopez and having their fun with him. The Bucks look to attack Kaminsky in the pick and roll. Middleton, Brook pick and roll. The Suns ice this. Chris Paul will provide weak side help to tag Brook. This opens up Tucker in the corner. Brook gets the deep post position on Kaminsky and he hits this hook shot. Chris Paul attacks Brook on this switch. He keeps his hands up in front of Paul, but Paul is just literally just dribbling Brook down just to get to his spot, and Paul makes his jumper. Booker does the same thing on this play. Switch on Brook, takes him inside. He does contest, but Booker hits this tough bank shot runner. Middleton, Brook, Lopez pick and roll again. Kaminsky focuses on containing Middleton, which opens up the Brook lob. The Bucks go to Giannis, post up on Crowder. Spacing gets weird here. PJ Tucker is fixated, staying near the rim. DeAndre's main focus is providing help on the Giannis post up. Crowder plays good defense and gets the offensive foul. The Suns come down and gets Devin Booker coming off a zipper screen. Chris Paul then receives a double ball screen, creates the switch on Brook, goes one-on-one and hits this jumper. Devin Booker gets a switch here with Lopez, but this time is able to get into the paint on him, draw help defense, and create shot opportunities for others. Here Bridges gets a 3 and reel him. And look at this defensive possession. In transition, Deandre fronts Brook Lopez, opens up the lob for Brook, but Chris Paul comes over and knocks that away. The Suns move in transition, and this is a championship level play by Giannis, blocking this, recovering and blocking this shot in transition. The spacing on this play by the Bucks is just bad. They play Jrue at the dunker spot, Crowder switches off ball onto Jrue, Chris Giannis pick and roll. Deandre does an excellent job defensively containing the ball and the roll. It also makes it harder for Giannis to score inside with Crowder there as well. Kick out to Pat Connaughton. He gets inside, but the Suns form a wall. Connaughton throws a bad pass to Jrue and forces a turnover. Going into the third, the Bucks look to use a little more switching, then go into more drop coverage. Here's more of Chris Paul just attacking Brook on a switch. Also here, Paul gets the and 1-3. Brook does do a good job contesting, but he has to give space for the shooter to land. Plays like this the Bucks can't afford. Middleton comes up in transition, gets the ball to Jrue. Booker closes out on Jrue and flies by him. He is out of the play. This is just a quick pass to Middleton, open on the wing. But he picks up his dribble in front of Bridges and gets it stripped. And the Suns get a bucket in transition. Really good play here by Jrue. He gets the screen from Giannis. Jay Crowder switches onto him. Jrue crosses over Jay, drives middle, sinks the help defense of Deandre, which opens up Brook Lopez in the corner for 3. The Bucks start to go more in a drop coverage midway through the third. Here Chris Paul gets a drag screen in transition. Brook drops. Chris Paul gets Brook to commit on him. No containment on Deandre, and he gets a lob. Here Deandre flat screen for Chris Paul. Brook is in a deep drop. Too much space here for Chris to work with. Snakes the screen, gets to his spot deep in the paint, and it's money. Same exact thing here on this play for Booker. He gets a screen from Deandre. Brook is in a drop. Too much space. Booker gets to his spot and he hits the shot. Here the Suns get Portis to switch on Booker after the Deandre handoff. Booker breaks down Portis. Middleton and Jrue are stunting off their mans. Booker drives left inside, draws a help defense of Jrue. Kick out to Paul, who is open for 3. Chris Paul is a menace. He gets to switch with Portis. He sizes him up and uses that negative step to blow by Portis for the layup. A play later, immediately gets the switch with Portis and drills this 3 in his eyes. Then off the Bucks miss here, he gets doubled off the screen. Bullet pass to Deandre, who gets fouled inside. These are just great plays by a great player. Khris Middleton got hot in the second half, and he has to be a consistent scoring threat for the Bucks. Plays like this where he is able to create his own shot and get it off with ease is going to be needed. The Bucks in the fourth quarter went to more Giannis at the 5 and went back to switching everything. The Suns matched them and played small as well to start. For the Bucks, this does take away the big man being the main point of attack for the Suns, but there still remains some weak link defenders the Suns can pick out and attack. Connaughton, Forbes. On this play for the Bucks, you see that switch everything mentality. Chris Paul settles for this long 3. On the other end, Giannis at the 5 gives more spacing for the Bucks for Giannis to work with. Here the Suns get Connaughton to switch. Paul just dribbles down Pat to his spot, pulls up, and it's money. we are going to need to see more actions like this involving Forbes and Giannis. Giannis in the post, Forbes sprints to the corner to receive a handoff, and he spots up for 3. The Bucks switch defense does help blow up a lot of action, such as this stack pick and roll. Notice how everything is switched and contained, perfectly defended. On the Deandre roll, PJ switches onto Deandre and Connaughton needs to close out on Bridges. Risky, but Pat is able to close out. The Suns are going to look to attack and involve Pat Connaughton in ball screens to get that switch. Jrue does a good job on the first screen to go under and stay home. The second screen, they commit to the switch. Pat is shading Chris Paul into the help defense of Jrue, and Giannis is nearby the paint to help if Bridges gets the ball. Giannis contains the pass inside, but extra pass to Deandre, and Deandre gets fouled. Not the best pick and roll defense here. 2 guys on the ball opens up the roll. Deandre gets the ball, and Pat Connaughton can't do much to contain this. And the last play, this was interesting. Off-ball switch here, Giannis now on Booker and PJ on Deandre. Deandre screens for Paul, he rejects the screen, drives and kicks to Booker, then screens Jrue, switches, and contests. That'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do like and comment, and also subscribe, help the channel out. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And with game 2 coming up, it's going to be interesting to see how the Bucks respond and adjust.